must pay homage to him.
Everybody got something to say, but it's in my life. I can never be the one to complain. I live in the limelight. Honestly, I made a couple mistakes. I seen it in hindsight. Told everyone I would keep it 100. So this what it sound like. Give you the facts, you think it's a joke. No coming back, it's all that you broke. You living fast, I'll show you the ropes. I pick up the bag, then I gotta smoke. No need to brag, keep that on the low. Keep that on the low. Don't even ask, keep that on the low. Yeah, keep that on the low. Don't tell me the sky's the limit. Oh, you too nosy, just mind your business. She got that wet, then I'm sliding in it. I drop a bomb like Al-Qaeda in it. Snatching that microphone right out your hand. Feel like Kanye, but I won't let you finish. You'll never find me doing origami. You thought I would fold, but I didn't. Haven't seen none of you boys in a minute. Where the hell did you go? Where the fuck is y'all at? Mama said to come home. Need to keep that money coming in. You too worried about what's up with them. Keep it on the low like the government. Moving silence, I'm ducking them punishments. I know something's been lurking right under me. Looking, searching. I put in the time, it was worth it. If I do it, I'ma do it with a purpose. Really been doing the most, got a surplus. Tell them put their hands together like worship. I can show you what the work is. I'm still in control, I'm ready to go. Everybody got something to say, but this is my life. I can never be the one to complain. I live in the limelight. Honestly, I made a couple mistakes. I seen it in hindsight. Told everyone I would keep it 100. So this what it sound like. Give you the facts, you think it's a joke. No coming back, it's all that you broke. You living fast, I'll show you the ropes. I pick up the bag, then I gotta smoke. No need to brag, keep that on the low. Keep that on the low. Don't even ask, keep that on the low. Keep that on the low. I know some deceitful people tried to keep me down, but I'm up now. I don't need no fabricated take on a story, tell karma to come now. Flow gon' melt like chocolate, still in my pocket. Do it from sun up to sundown. Lifestyle left, no option. Hit still dropping. Put it on, go have some fun now. Ayy, I can only hope. What's the chances? Look at my portfolio. It's extensive. Tell me what's really going on.
What's going on, Nerd Nation? It's your boy Chris, back with another Nerds at 9 episode. Tonight I'm gonna be talking about the Lakers. I watched most of their game last night against the Mavericks. Well, about as much as I could stand. I actually left the game on for a while. Was doing some other things. The Lakers came back, so I started watching again. And obviously the Mavericks pulled that one out last night. I had a few takes. Might be a little controversial, but we shall see. I think the Lakers are done this season, and it is what it is. I have a few reasons why I think that. But before I get into that, definitely go ahead and like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're liking the content. Really helps us out here. Also, if you like the music, I know the song just went off, waiting for another one to come on momentarily, but here you go. That's Recreation. He kind enough to let us use his music, set the vibes every night here. So go give him a follow and a listen. He's got some good stuff. Other than that, I don't know if I'm going to keep doing Wednesday episodes. I think I'm going to take off the middle of the week. I feel like it kind of gets to a lull, just the middle of the week Wednesday. It always seems like I got something to do. I'm kind of rushing back to do this. So starting next week, no Wednesday episode, but I'm still going to be here, Monday through Friday, except for Wednesdays at 9 p.m. So yeah, that's pretty much all that's going on. Just watched some great high school basketball. So shout out to all the ballers out there. It's that time of year. Watched the game, come down to the game-winning shot. It was just incredible. Good atmosphere on a Wednesday night, like I said. So yeah, I mean, it's basketball season. I figured I would come back, talk a little about LeBron, because, I mean, we all love to talk about LeBron, right? And especially, it's not going so good right now with the Lakers. Obviously, they're 27-34 in the West. I mean, 27-34 overall, which is good for 9th in the West. Only 2 games ahead of Portland and New Orleans, who are both tied for 10th. So, obviously, if both of those teams passed the Lakers wouldn't even be in the play-in. So that's big. Only 2-game lead, or else out. And they are 5 games behind the 8th seed Clippers. So right now it's not looking too good on their chances of catching up to the Clippers. I think they'll make the playoffs. I think the Trailblazers in particular, they traded away a decent number of pieces. They actually traded CJ McCollum to the Pelicans. So I think the Pelicans going to be better of those two teams, and I think the Trailblazers unless the Lakers just completely implode, which is it's looking that way. It's definitely looking that way. They've lost 6 out of the last 7, I believe. So it's looking that way. I'm not saying that they're a lock to make the playoffs or anything, but I think they'll make the play-in game. But once we get there, I think all bets are off. I think at this point they're definitely not winning a first-round series if they can even make it out of the play-ins, and I have serious doubts that they'll be able to win a play-in game. We saw them get completely destroyed the other night by the Pelicans. I think that was Monday night. Or Sunday night, one of the two. I think they lost by 30 plus. The crowd was booing LeBron, and along with other players. It wasn't just him. They were booing the team overall. But LeBron, I don't know. I mean, at the end of the game, his numbers didn't look too bad. But just watching that game and watching the game against the Mavericks, I really think that LeBron, he's not getting any flack from the media, but I truly believe that he's part of the problem here. I mean, I'm not look, don't hear what I'm not saying. LeBron James is not the main problem with the Lakers. But his effort on defense, his attitude, his body language, which I've seen even Kendrick Perkins talking about, it's been terrible. And I've been watching just specifically him a lot, but also other players on the team. I've been seeing Russell Westbrook. I'll get to him in a second. I think he's been playing, slightly better than just the terrible that he was at the beginning of the season, but he's not doing that much better. So that definitely doesn't help. The team around LeBron it's definitely not that good. Outside, I was gonna say outside of him and Westbrook right now, but even Westbrook hasn't been good. Anthony Davis has only played 37 of the games, which is about half, or a little bit more than half, but we know how his season's been going. He hasn't really been doing that great. This team is in big trouble. They're in big trouble. I'm going to start with LeBron. What he's actually doing. I want to give him some credit. Obviously, I'm not just going to trash the man and not be fair to, what he's doing on the offensive side of the ball. Currently in his 44 games, which, obviously he's missed some games too, so that's hurting the record a little bit, but even these last few games, like I said, they've still been losing. But 44 games, 28.9 points, 8.0 rebounds, 6.3 assists, to go along with 1.6 steals, 1.0 blocks. 52% from the field, 35% from three, and 75.4% from the free throw line. Obviously, the 35% from three and 75% from free throw line, they're not, great numbers by any means, but they're also not terrible. And especially for LeBron James, I think 75% of the free throws for LeBron, I think that's actually really good. And I think 35%, because, LeBron's never going to be Steph Curry or anything like that, but he just has to make enough where the defense, they have to respect it, because he can still get to the basket, which obviously, his numbers, if you look at that, no flaw in those numbers at all. 52% from the field is just exceptional, especially for a, perimeter player. I mean, I know he plays a lot inside too, but he takes about 7 or 8 threes a game, so the percentages are definitely there. I will say about LeBron, I think the steal and the block numbers, I almost don't even like talking about them anymore, because in the grand scheme of things, I guess it's great when you get a steal or you get a block. But those numbers don't necessarily, mean that you've been a good defender, because 1.6 steals and 1.0 blocks, those are good defensive numbers. Take it from me, as somebody who plays fantasy, and I'm always kind of looking at defensive numbers as kind of like a, I don't know, like a tiebreaker between guys who are similar on offense. 1.6 and 1.0, I would take that all day from any player, any position. So, those are good numbers, like I said, but if you watched the game last night against the Magic, there's a lot of plays where LeBron just didn't even get back on defense, led to Mavericks buckets. I just thought his effort at times, it was just very questionable. And I understand, it's frustrating, but I just didn't like what I saw. Honestly, I haven't liked what I've seen from LeBron these last few games. Kendrick Perkins got on him pretty hard after the Pelicans game. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, he was talking about his body language was terrible. And I saw the same thing in this game. I mean, he came out and, he turns it on at times and, he gets his numbers, he gets his steals. But down the stretch of that game, in particular, Luka Doncic literally took it to LeBron. And I think he made a big statement for me. It's a regular season game. You can say that, but it's sometimes it's how you do things, And he could have easily, tried to take his man off the dribble or, run other plays. But every time it seemed like down the court, down the stretch, he called for the screen from LeBron, whoever LeBron was guarding, got LeBron on him, and pretty much played one-on-one on LeBron all the way down the stretch. And like I said, the Lakers had gotten back in the game. They had tied it. I think they had even taken the lead at some points. But Luka Doncic continued to just take it to LeBron. And LeBron, I don't know if he couldn't do anything about it. If he, if he's trying to save it. It was the fourth quarter. The game was on the line. So I don't really necessarily think he was trying to save it. So, I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying his defense this season, it hasn't been there. It hasn't been there at all. His body language, he is turning the ball over 3.4 times a game. That's not great, but it's also not terrible with how much he has the ball. But it's not helping. When he turns the ball over, he doesn't run back on defense. He doesn't do the things that you need the best player on the team to do to have a successful team. If you play sports, you understand that a little bit, that if, when the best player turns the ball over and he just stands there and you guys play 4-on-5, it's demoralizing. They need him back on defense. You know what I'm saying? There was a few plays I think that could have been made. So, like I said, this whole video is not just going to be a bash LeBron. That's just kind of my critique of him. And yeah, he's in year 19. He probably shouldn't be asked to do what he's doing. So, like I said, he's not the main problem. I think a lot of people would say the main problem is Russell Westbrook. Hard to argue with that. It is. The way he's playing, I want to argue with it because I like Russell Westbrook. I think he gets a bad rap, sometimes, but he's not doing himself too much favors this year. In his numbers, 60 games, so he's been an Iron Man. A lot of people have complained about that, hoping that he'd miss some games, take some time off or something, because they say he's killing the team. But 60 games, 18.1 points a game, 7.7 rebounds, 7.3 assists, 1.1 steals, only 43.2% from the field, 28.6% from three, and 67% from the free throw line. So those percentages obviously just going to kill you. He's also averaging 4 turnovers a game, which, he has the ball less than LeBron. And like I said, LeBron 3.4 is a little high, but we can live with that based on what else he's giving us and the efficiency that he shoots at. But we can't live with that with Russell Westbrook, if you're the Lakers. Obviously, it's tough. I'm not quite sure what you can do. I think the worst thing to do is to try to just, cancel Russell Westbrook's impact and cancel all the good things that he does. Because, look, I'll take, 18, 8, and 7. If you took out the percentages and, you didn't know, and somebody said, hey, I got a guy for your team, you put him in the game, he's going to average 18, 8, and 7. You'd be like, all right, cool. But, the percentages aren't there. But like I said, I think the worst thing is try to minimize them. I think they should, just put confidence in them, man. Obviously, look, hey, you don't got to shoot the 3. Just try to get to the basket, but stay aggressive. The games where he just kind of stands in the corner and waits, they don't play well either. So, they got to go down with him. They're paying him $40+ million, $44 million or something. Anthony Davis isn't there, which I'll get to him, but they got to let Russ be Russ a little bit. He was with my Wizards last year, and I got a good look at him a lot of times, and the first half of the season was very rough. The Wizards weren't in playoff position, but the second half of the season, Russ came on strong. He seemed like he developed more chemistry with the team. He took over, even though we had Bradley Beal And I think Bradley Beal might have been leading the league in scoring, or he was up there. Bradley Beal was balling, but Russell Westbrook really became the leader of the team. I felt like, just from an energy standpoint, from a confidence standpoint, as the veteran of the team last year. So I still think he can do that. So I mean, look, I think he can get it going. My guy Andres said Westbrook's going to get hate no matter what. I mean, we're definitely seeing that, and like I said, though, I mean, some of it is justified. You can't shoot 28.6% from three. Like, come on, we need better than that. I think, I'm not gonna go as far as, because but yeah, we need better from Russell Westbrook. I think he can play better, but I don't know if he will play better just based on the city, all the pressure, and all the hate he's getting, like Andreas was saying. So yeah, that situation with Russ, what do? You just gotta let him go. I mean, like, I don't think that's gonna lead to a championship, but I think it's gonna be better than just trying to bench him or just put other guys in, because they don't have other guys. AD, like I said, he's injured right now. Only played 37 games so far. The numbers, some of them aren't as bad as I thought. 23.1 points a game, 9.7 rebounds. So we can live with that. About 3 assists, 2.3 blocks, 1.2 steals. So he's blocking shots. He's defending the rim when he's out there. The shooting, he's 53.7 from the field, that's pretty good. But 18.2% from the three this year for Anthony Davis. 70.9 from the free throw line. He's usually about up at 80 from the free throw line. Usually at least 3-pointers. He's in the mid-30s. He's shooting like half. Like, if you cut your percentage in half, that's terrible. That's terrible. Like, no matter, So I don't understand what happened to his jumper. I don't understand anything that's going on with AD. I will say, I don't know what happened at the start of the season. He started the season playing terrible. I have no explanation for that. But since then, obviously, he's been a lot of times coming off of an injury, trying to get himself back into a basketball rhythm. If you play the game, you know that sometimes it takes a few games, a lot of minutes, a lot of up and down the court, game speed. Nothing gets you prepared to play a game like playing a game. So it takes some time, and I feel like he's been struggling every time just to get back and stay on the court. And right when it seems like he's starting to get a little bit of traction, he goes down again. And then, now we're back in that same situation. So I don't see him getting it going. It's tough there. Like I said, I don't see AD getting it going. I don't see LeBron just turning on defensively. I don't think he can do it in year 19. I don't think, I've seen him get gashed this season. Obviously, like I said, I'm not criticizing. I'm just being honest and laying it out there. There's a reason they're the 9th seed. So he can't just carry a team like he used to. Russ, it's a bad situation there. And then you got to look to the role players here. We shall see. I got to get back to this Andres comment, though. He said a few things. He said Anthony Davis is just made of glass, most injury-prone player I've ever seen. Yeah, I mean, he's definitely up there. I'm not going to say he's the most injury-prone, because, I mean, he has made it through some seasons. He won the championship a few years back. But, yeah, he's definitely Mr. Glass. I don't get it. I don't even think he knows, like he just falls awkwardly. I don't know where I was going with that, but he just always falls awkwardly, he just, every time you see him. So yeah, AD, Mr. Glass. We got Russ, Mr. Inefficiency. Then we got a 30, I wanted to say 39, I think 37-year-old LeBron, right? So the big three ain't looking so big and bad right now. The other players, I think they're all either too old or they're just not good enough. Just flat out, Carmelo Anthony, he's not doing terrible. 39.2% from downtown is pretty good. 13.6 points a game, so he's not doing too bad. But again, he's not helping the defense. He's an old guy. He never really was a great defender in the first place, and now we don't expect defense from Melo. I go down the line here. Malik Monk, actually, I think has been a bright spot. I'm proud of him. I think that he, has carved out a nice little role for himself. So Malik Monk at 39.3%, I think he's the best shooter on the team right now, and 12.7 points a game. So he's going to have to be solid. Him and Melo are going to have to step up, hit shots. Other players, because, like, who else are they going to depend on? Like, Talen Horton-Tucker is 27.7% from three, so he's not a shooter. Austin Reeves, who, like, I don't even know if he's good enough to be, like, on the court just in terms of his, like, athleticism and talent. But, he has decent IQ, but only 29.8% from three for him. Avery Bradley shooting 38.1% from three, but he's only scoring, like, 6.6 a game. So maybe if he got more minutes, I don't know. But he's another old guy. He used to be a defender, can't really defend anymore. Trevor Ariza, he's done. He's washed up, 30.3% from three. His defense is lacking now. He's done. Stanley Johnson, again, this is just a guy they got, he was on 10-day contracts, but 33.9% from three, so he's not a knockdown shooter either. They got Dwight, who he's big, but he's getting old too. So, like, the only player on the team that I actually like, oh yeah, I like that player, is Malik Monk. I mean, outside of the big three, obviously, they've all proven that they can do things in this league, but Malik Monk, all of the role players, and the rest of these guys, like, I just don't think they're that good. I'm sorry. Like, if you guys disagree, let me know if I'm overlooking any other players on the Lakers roster. But this is not a good team. And like I mentioned, they're in ninth right now. They're in jeopardy of missing the playoffs. We'll see. I think the Blazers, I don't even know if they want to make the playoffs. I don't think Dame's going to play the rest of the season because, he should just rest up. They're not going anywhere. So, like I said, I think they probably will end. The Lakers will end in the 10th seed. I think that the Pelicans will surpass them. Even if they don't, they're not moving up past 9th. And even if they get into the play-in game or the playoffs, from the 9th or 10th seed, they have to play the 1 seed. And that's probably going to be the Suns. Or it could be the Warriors. Either way, they're losing that. They're not making it out of the first round. You heard it here first. The Lakers are done. I know when the playoffs start, there are going to be people that hop on board and they think, LeBron's going to do it. He's going to put the team on his back. And he's going to try. And he's going to play great. Don't get me wrong. But they'll still lose in the first round. Mark it down here. Actually, I think they'll probably lose in the play-ins. But, hey, we shall see. Other than that, let me know what I missed. Let me know if you think the Lakers can turn this around somehow. Obviously, trade deadline's passed, so I don't know how they would, but we shall see. Other than that, if you made it this far, definitely hit that subscribe button. Definitely like this video. Help your boy out. We're trying to get up to 50 subscribers. Let's see if we can do it. I'm out of here. No episode next Wednesday. That's the last piece of news. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll see you guys. Keep nerding it up.